News 12 Long Island, 24 hours every day.
From Montauk in the east to Great Neck in the west. News about Long Island for the people of Long Island. 24 hours every day. This is News 12 Long Island. And now, the evening edition.
Good evening, I'm Melba Tolliver.
And hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Feldman. Tonight, a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of whoever bombed the World Trade Center.
And there's word tonight that the famous Twin Towers may be closed for a long time. News 12's Patti Ann Browne standing by now in New York City at police headquarters. Patti Ann?
Melba, Scott, I'm at One Police Plaza where the press has just been briefed on the latest in the investigation into who planted the bomb that caused Friday's deadly explosion at the World Trade Center. At the press conference, the police confirmed today that threatening calls came in warning of an explosion in New York City in late January.
I may have the dates wrong, but let's say the call was received on the 22nd of January and that the bombing would take place by the 24th of January. A similar call was received prior to the 24th of January, extending the deadline 48 hours to the 26th.
Commissioner Kelly and the FBI say they get many threatening phone calls, and of course it's hard to distinguish the real threats from the fake ones. However, they will be looking into that more, as you can imagine. And James Fox, the head of the New York office of the FBI, did say that at this point they have still not zeroed in exactly what group they're targeting. They do think it might be a terrorist attack, and they are not specifying any further than that. They say all options are still open at this point. Meanwhile, Reuters is reporting that this afternoon there was a bomb scare at 4 World Trade Center, which houses the Commodities Exchange. Reuters says there was a near stampede as people inside that building tried to get out this afternoon. Of course, no device was later found, and everyone did go back inside that building, and the trading continued as normal throughout the afternoon after this major disruption, as you can imagine. And meanwhile, at the Twin Towers, officials now say damage there is much worse than they had imagined before. They say they're running into obstacle after obstacle in their attempts to get those towers back in working order.
I'd like to believe that we're going to do this in under a month.
The Port Authority now admits its original estimate of a week to reopen the Twin Towers was low. Engineers working on the restoration say it's more complicated than they realized. With a workforce of 1,300, they're still not done putting up steel beams around the crater left by the explosion in a parking lot below the towers.
We have many layers of concrete slabs that have collapsed. Those things cannot be disturbed to do a thorough investigation and removal until all 18 braces are in place.
Other parts of the trade center are open, but both towers are officially off limits, except to employees who are escorted up to their offices to retrieve important files and papers to bring to temporary offices elsewhere. What'd you find up there?
It's a lot of soot, a lot of dirt, especially on the carpets around the stairwells and the elevator shafts. You can see it coming up underneath the floors.
Meanwhile, small businesses from the Twin Towers are applying for newly announced interest-free loans. Any company with less than 60 employees which qualifies is supposed to get a check for $5,000 to $50,000 within 24 hours of applying.
It'll pay for the dislocation costs, security deposits for a new lease, temporary lease, computer terminals so you can hook up to a computer, telephones, those kinds of expenses.
The government is prepared to give out $5 million worth of loans. Half of that money is from the city. The other half is from the state.
You dig deep. You look in programs that have funds that perhaps are not expended, and you bend the rules and bend the regulations and make it available because there's an emergency.
Well, this city really does have a spirit all of its own, and these people are amazingly resilient. They're trying to get back to work as usual.